Part 185. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1842. Yin Tao and two other actresses came into Xiang Nan's office. The three people gathered around Xiang Nan's desk. Yin Tao held her mobile phone in her hand, shaking it, and said to Xiang Nan, "Boss, I have joined 9 groups, 3 of them, I asked the group owner to give me the administrator. Administrators have the right to directly add people to the group. This is Xiangnan's request, so that they can directly add their screenwriters to the group in the future." The other 2, one said it was 9, and the other said it was 8. They're all different groups? Don't crowd together, Xiang Nan said, and the 3 of them answered of course. Xiang Nan was surprised again. There are so many groups in Yongcheng. There are some in Yongcheng, but I have 6 from Hangcheng, Yin Tao said. Are you crazy? Why are you joining the Hangzhou group? Every time the group gets together, do you rush from Yongcheng to Hangcheng? Xiang Nan asked. What's the point? Some people from Urumqi have to rush to Hangzhou to attend the group gathering. The group in Yongcheng is not representative. Besides, many people know us and know that we are from the troupe as soon as we enter. We also how to experience life. Yin Tao asked. It made sense to think about it to the south. Boss, does going to Hangzhou to attend a group gathering count as a business trip? Yin Tao asked. Xiang Nan nodded and said, it's okay. The accommodation is allowed to be 4-star. If it's 5-star, you'll have to pay for it yourself. The 3 of them laughed and said that they couldn't even get a 4-star hotel, so a quick hotel would be fine. This was the purpose for them to come to Xiang Nan. Yin Tao asked, Boss, how many groups have you joined? Xiang Nan shook his head, there is no one. Why should I join those messy groups? Oh, you don't lead by example, Yin Tao said, then how do you experience life? You have never participated in a group gathering. How will you perform then? You can imagine that I have never participated in any group gatherings, but I have participated in a class reunion, Xiang Nan said. What is the difference between this group gathering and the class reunion? The difference is huge, Yin Tao said. Everyone knows the basics of the class reunion. At this group gathering, everyone calls each other by their online names. Even though they have known each other for a long time, they don't know each other's real names. Some people, for example, if you are obviously a loser, but when you come to a group gathering, you borrow a car and drive there, pretending to be wealthy, you are actually here to deceive girls. How do you know that you have been cheated? Xiang Nan asked. I've encountered this before. He drove a BMW X5. As a result, I found the driver's license in the car while he was going to the toilet. The car belongs to the rental company. Yin Tao said, and the other 2 girls nodded quickly, saying that there are people like this in every group. After the group party is over, they will quietly ask a few girls to go for supper together, or after the group party, they will make appointments alone. Anyway, the people he hooks up with are all women, and then they make themselves look very rich. There was a guy who used 3 credit cards to pay for 1 meal, Yin Tao said. The 3 girls burst into laughter, and Xiang Nan was also surprised to hear this. If they didn't tell her, she really wouldn't know where such people would be in the class reunion. Students who didn't get along well would not even dare to come to the class reunion. Join. Come on, boss, give me your phone and I'll add a few for you, Yin Tao said. Anyway, in the group, you use a pseudonym, and no one knows what you do. If you want to show off, you can. If you just pretend, it won't pay for your life if you lie to others. Yin Tao said and came to get the mobile phone on Xiang Nan's table. Xiang Nan quickly took the phone away and said, I'll add it myself. Okay, you must join, otherwise you won't even know what's going on in the group when the time comes. We'll be exhausted explaining it to you every day, Yin Tao said. I know, long-winded. By the way, "Boss, you don't want to join the group from Yongcheng, join the group from Hangzhou," another girl said. Xiang Nan asked, "Why? Who doesn't know you in Yongcheng? Are you going on a blind date or attending another class reunion?" Yin Tao said, "Xiang Nan understands," she said. "I understand." Yin Tao and the other three went out and walked to the corridor outside. Yin Tao turned around and walked back. She stood opposite Xiang Nan's desk and asked softly, "Boss, do you want to talk to Zhang Xiangbei first so that he can be mentally prepared?" "Why are you talking to him?" Xiang Nan asked, confused. "After you join the group, as long as you are the boss, many people will definitely come to flirt with you, and he will need to compete for the position," Yin Tao said. Xiang Nan reached out and slapped the table and stood up. Yin Tao giggled and ran away. Xiang Nan smiled herself, shook her head and sat down. Xiang Nan looked at his watch. It was almost 11 o'clock. On Zhang Xiangbei's side, it was almost midnight. Xiang Nan picked up his phone and called. The phone rang twice and was picked up. Xiangnan asked Zhang Xiangbei what he was doing and whether he was asleep. Zhang Xiangbei said, "No, I'm waiting in front of the computer, ready to call you at 11:30. Xiang Nan was surprised. "Why 11:30? You had just gotten off work at that time. During working hours, your office must be full of people," Zhang Xiangbei said. Xiang Nan smiled, "Yes, Yin Tao and the others just went out." Xiangnan and Zhang Xiangbei told them about the new play they were planning to rehearse, which would revolve around all kinds of people in a group of strangers. Zhang Xiangbei agreed that the subject matter was novel and attractive enough. "Zhang Xiangbei, I want to tell you something," Xiangnan said slowly. "Okay, you say." "That's right, we have to rehearse this play, so everyone has to go to Momo Group to collect materials. Yin Tao and the others have added 8 or 9 people. They were talking about me just now, saying that I don't lead by example. I think they are right. I should also add one to experience life. Zhang Xiangbei, are you right?" Before Xiang Nan finished speaking, Zhang Xiangbei laughed and said, "Isn't it just joining a Momo group? Why are you nervous?" "What the hell, Zhang Xiangbei, why am I nervous?" Xiang Nan said anxiously. "Why don't you be nervous and explain so much?" Zhang Xiangbei said, "It's just a group. Just join it. I'm online now and chatting with people in the Facebook group." "But, this group, there are group gatherings and so on." Xiang Nan said. "We have it too. It's nice to meet new friends and communicate with each other," Zhang Xiangbei said. "When I was driving around the United States alone, I wanted to meet netizens everywhere I went. This quickly brings you closer to the city." "Okay," Xiang Nan said, feeling relieved. After hanging up the phone, Xiang Nan sat and thought for a while. She also laughed. What was this? She felt that she didn't know when, but the closer her relationship with Zhang Xiangbei was, the smaller she felt. Ever since she was a child, she had been the one who protected Zhang Xiangbei. She was the one who said, "Zhang Xiangbei, can't you get through?" Zhang Xiangbei came over obediently. But since the relationship between the two of them was established and they got closer, especially after she became his favorite, Xiangnan found that he had become hopelessly smaller and became somewhat dependent on Zhang Xiangbei, becoming like her. It was the person who walked over obediently. Xiang Nan couldn't help but smile, but he felt it was sweet in his heart. Xiangnan picked up her mobile phone, downloaded Momo and registered a Momo name under the name Xiangnan. She then located herself in Hangzhou and searched for it among the Momo groups in Hangzhou. The Lonely Men and Widows group, the Properly Young group, the 8090 group, the Missing Unite group, the Hangzhou North Friendship group, etc. The purpose of these groups is obvious at first glance. Xiang Nan has a natural aversion. She feels that even if she were killed, she would not join such a group. There are also many literary and art groups, such as film, painting, music, and reading groups. All of them look serious and serious. Xiang Nan didn't even think about it and crossed the group. He joined the group to experience life. But I have no interest in communicating with others. This kind of communication group is really meaningless except for showing off to each other. There are also many groups of fellow villagers, which Xiang Nan doesn't consider. This kind of group is where everyone stays together in a foreign land to keep warm. There is a lot of resentment in the group, and Xiang Nan has no interest in it. Besides, even if he goes in, he will show up immediately. Are you from Sichuan or Sichuan? Okay, let's talk a few words in Sichuan dialect and Sichuan dialect. Xiang Nan searched for a long time, but couldn't find a suitable group. She put down her phone, took the notes on the table, and took out a pen from the pen holder. She thought about it, and decided to position her role first, so she could join the group. At that time, she can appear in this role. First came the name. Xiangnan quickly decided on her own name, which was called Cat. She picked up her phone, changed her Momo name from Xiangnan to Cat, and then found it online. Not a picture of a cat, but a simple drawing of a cool cat. Use this drawing as your Momo avatar. Xiang Nan wrote the word cat on the note. As for his age, there was no need to change it, just his real age. However, he changed his date of birth to Zhang Xiangbei's date. She then thought about what this cat should do. It was definitely not a real profession, but it had to be something she knew, otherwise when others asked her, she would be found out very quickly if she didn't know anything about it. Xiangnan thought of Splendid China and immediately rejected it. Then he thought of Ben Muishan Group, hesitated for a moment, and still rejected it. Ben Muishan was still too close to the real him. Xiangnan finally thought of Lin Shuwen's Leadership English Foreign Language School. This is good, and she knows it very well, but people who don't know it still don't know that it is very close to their real self. Behind Cat, Xiang Nan wrote the date of birth and LinkedIn Foreign Language School. What do you do at LinkedIn Foreign Language School? Xiang Nan felt that he was not good at being a teacher. His English proficiency was not good enough to be a teacher, so it would be easier for him to reveal his secret. He would sit in an office and work as an administrator. Yes, he was working under Lao Sun's General Affairs Office, that's all. Xiang Nan finally wrote General Affairs Office, tore off the note and put it in a drawer so that if he forgot, he could find it and have a look. After setting his role, Xiangnan picked up the phone again and continued searching. She found a group called Chi Pa Control. The group avatar was a mustache clown. The text in the group introduction attracted her. The first sentence above was, "This is not a group that everyone can join." Then there is a long list of parallel sentences. If you don't have a sharp mouth, you won't have it. If you don't have a strong heart, you won't have it. Wait, and finally, only be with interesting souls. This group aroused Xiangnan's interest and aroused her competitive spirit. You said this is not a group that everyone can join, so I will give it a try. Thank you to Quadratic VC and the reward of 2 fishes, 1 up and 1 down. Thank you Shachan Mood, Tixi, Yuingzi, Yuan Wang, Book Friends 201111021135467118, Hurricane 0669, Book Friends 1309112023195552, Daos Hung 123, Gongzimian Z, Reader 1297873838407110656, Book Friends 202101161219158004, Zizhe Tianwei Y, Book Friends 2170320045736929, Void Broken Dreams, Forgot Password, and Coming Again, Lao Shenzi Sang, Traveler Ye Buzan, Adam 326, Zipanjiang 1, Monthly Tickets in Lowercase English. Thanks for all the votes and reading. I wish you all good health. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1843. Xiongnan clicked on the application to join the group and was quickly approved. However, as soon as she entered, what she saw was not a greeting with flowers, but a lot of people saying, "Here comes another cat. Whoever brought this in seems like a weakling. Can you bring in some more durable ones to torture me?" "Sing, sing, sing quickly," someone had said to the south. Xiangnan asked curiously, "What song are you singing? Are you blind? Haven't you read the group rules?" Someone immediately cursed, and Xiongnan remembered. She had glanced at the group rules earlier, and it seemed that to join the group, she had to sing a cappella in 30 seconds, or introduce herself in 60 seconds. Xiongnan was embarrassed. "Sing? But I'm in the office. Is the office weird? Can't you sing in the office?" "That's right, I happened to be on the Xinwen network last time and sang it on the spot. Yes, I was having dinner with Jae-jo that time, and I sang right away." Jae-jo was stunned. "Go away, I told you that you are a weakling. This is not the place you came from. You are in the wrong place." You," Xiangnan cursed in his mind and thought angrily, "you asked me to get out, but I still refused. Isn't it just singing? I'm afraid of you when I sing." Xiangnan sang a few lines into his mobile phone. "I don't know if you also like balloons / the kind that are often given out on the roadside / I make an appointment with you / to raise a clingy kitten / and a big, gentle one the dog. Hey, that's good. I can also sing Zhang Xian's children's song, and my voice is not bad." Someone in the group immediately said something, and Xiangnan was shocked. Zhang Xian was not a popular singer, so he didn't expect anyone here to know about it. It seemed that the people in this group were a little different. "Go out, don't you understand the singing?" someone shouted. Xiangnan argued, "I've already sung it." "You are blind. You sang a cappella for 30 seconds. How many seconds did you sing?" The person who kept calling her out, named Stapler's dad, asked her. Stapler's dad? Xiangnan looked at the recording he had just made. It was only 28 seconds long. Xiangnan said, "It's only 2 seconds away." The Stapler's dad came out with a roaring expression, "Not even a second away. I'll give you one more chance to sing again, but I won't do it. You re-cinched the shit and kicked it right away. The sound sounds like a sissy," a person named Little Fairy said. Xiangnan didn't know whether to laugh or cry. "I am originally a woman." "A woman is amazing, isn't she?" "I'm a woman too, how about being a woman?" the little goblin asked. "Isn't this nonsense?" Before Xiangnan could get angry, the Stapler's dad said, "The countdown begins, 30, 29, I haven't sang for 30 seconds, so I kicked it." "Okay, I'll sing right away." Xiangnan had no choice but to sing quickly. "There is a high moon in the center of the town / there are good families in the village / there are birds singing on the ancient hill / the fragrance of Chinese food / in my distant childhood, my parents were heaven / the slope is long 3 miles away / the black hair is eternal hometown / tell the story slowly / think slowly think slowly think slowly / think slowly think slowly think slowly / shake and shake, shake to Grandma Bridge." After singing this for 52 seconds, the Stapler dad said, "That's it? I've passed it here and I'll leave it to you." The little fairy came up immediately, "Are you a beauty? There are all perverts here, open your mind, will you? If you are not a beauty, please leave. If you are not a coquettish one, please leave. If you are tall and fair, please leave. Do you have a convertible? If you don't have a convertible, you won't be here for a long time. Losers are not welcome here." Xiangnan said, "It's just average, with average appearance and average height. I also have a convertible, but it's just 2 wheels with a chain. How does it compare to yours?" "Compared with me? Humph, I don't even like convertibles. Only ugly guys like you think convertibles are great. When I go out, I always drive an aircraft carrier, said the little goblin. Is it made in Yuwu? Is the deck made of plywood? Does the engine burn soybean oil? Xiangnan asked. I laughed so hard that there were typos on purpose. In an instant, the group became lively, and Xiangnan was dazzled. Little Fatty said, the one with sharp teeth must have big buck teeth. The yellow stain on his teeth is 3 feet thick. Can a jeep be driven through the gaps between his teeth? The little goblin said, you still show off your wealth to me, and I breathe a sigh of relief, which is enough for your whole family to survive the whole winter. Director said, did you pass that song? It sounded like a sheep having an epilepsy attack. Curly said, what's more, I vomited up the little breakfast I had left. Little Guai said, damn it, don't spit on me. I'm already disgusted by this ugly monster. So many people came towards Xiangnan, but Xiangnan laughed and cursed. Have you done enough pretending? Do you think you are special just like this? Don't be mean. In my opinion, it's all childish. Little Goblin said, then get out of here. No, it's so fun to watch your performances. Why don't I want to watch the fun for free? I can't bear to leave. Xiangnan sent a laughing emoji. Just like these people who carry fashionable goods, still think they are interesting souls, think they are weird. Come up and tie them up, come together, I am not afraid. Is there anyone who knows how to curse? Come out, come on, let's talk to each other. Hurt, who is afraid of whom? Xiangnan continued. 3 fives laughed, are you anxious? Or are you crazy? The exclamation marks are all out. Xiangnan snorted, are you in a hurry? You think too highly of yourself. You don't deserve it at all. Okay, I'm hungry. I'm going to eat. If you keep barking, I'll bring you dog food later. Xiangnan actually felt a little angry. He didn't expect to meet such a group of people as soon as he entered. What kind of people are they? He thought that being unreasonable and abusive was weird. Swearing was such a low-level human function. Who wouldn't? What's so weird? Xiangnan stood up and walked out to eat without even taking his cell phone. After eating, she returned to the office and sat down at her desk. Xiangnan thought she should have been kicked out of the group. She turned on her phone and looked, but there was no one there. And just when she went out to eat, there was actually someone in the group. There were more than 500 comments, which is amazing. Xiangnan turned forward curiously, and she found that everyone spoke normally, even the little goblin. They were discussing the American TV series Breaking Bad and True Detective, and they also discussed whether homosexuality was a good thing. Regarding the need for legalization, there was also a chemical formula that said this was the composition of methamphetamine, but Xiangnan didn't understand it. However, judging from the content of their discussion, it was all normal, and there were many insightful remarks in it. Xiangnan also saw a person named Kat appear. He didn't say much. He just asked which season of Breaking Bad was the best. Someone told her that she should start watching it from the first season. She said oh and said I should watch it in the afternoon. Then there was no movement. However, Xiangnan knew what it meant when someone said there's another cat when she came in before her. It turned out that there was already a cat here. At this time, a newcomer came in, and a lot of people came out to ask her to sing. After the newcomer felt coy for a while, she sang anyway. What followed was the same as what Xiangnan had experienced. Countless people ridiculed her, and the newcomer couldn't be more popular. Cursed you, and left the group. The people in the group were so happy that they were all laughing. Only then did Xiangnan realize that this was their way of hospitality. They took pleasure in this, reminding others that this is not a group that everyone can join. That's what it meant. It was quite boring, Xiangnan thought. Director asked in the group, where is the old cat? He hasn't come back from dinner yet. Probably not, She is still stronger, I like her. Little Fairy said. I like it too, don't compete with me. Someone named Sissy said, I like the songs she sings and her voice is nice. Siang Nan looked at it and then realized that they were talking about themselves. They had separated themselves from the other cat and called her old cat. It seemed that they had accepted her and she had passed the test. Xiongnan didn't want to say anything and pretended not to notice. She turned off Momo and left them alone to talk. She closed her eyes and wanted to take a nap first. In the afternoon, Suji and Mei came to Xiongnan to report on the work of Yongcheng Central Hotel. After the report, Suji and Mei and Xiangnan said that the bar in the sky garden of their hotel felt too small and should be expanded. During this year's World Cup and Drama Festival, the place could not be crowded. They moved the projections outside to the open air. They thought it was temporary, but as a result, even after the theater festival passed, there were still many guests. The bar was made of glass. If it were to be expanded, part of the surrounding garden would have to be removed. Xiongnan called Zhang Chen. Zhang Chen agreed that he would come over next week to see how it should be changed. After talking to Suji and Mei, it was almost 4 o'clock. Only then did Xiangnan remember the Chipa control group. She picked up her phone, opened Momo, and saw more than 900 new messages. It seemed that the people in this group people are all talkative. Chatterbox is good, Xiangnan felt secretly happy. Chatterbox can provide her with more topics and materials. Clicking south to open the square box, you find that the group leader Zhe is at her, and he asks her, will you come to the group gathering the day after tomorrow, old cat? Say yes to the south. Time and place, you can check the group announcement later. Zhe said. Xiangnan still agreed. By the way, let me tell you, our group gathering is different from other groups. Zhe continued. What's the difference? Xiangnan asked. Genders are equal here. There is no exemption for men and women. All expenses are shared equally. It should be less than 200. Xiangnan said yes, no problem. Little fatty, little fatty, little fatty ran away last time and was not punished. Director shouted. Zheat immediately hit Xiaopang, and Xiaopang came out and said, okay, I accept the punishment, and I'll treat you this time. Zheat called Xiangnan again and said to her, old cat, did you see that I agreed to come to participate? If you don't come, you will be punished. You will be the one to treat me next time. Don't worry, I won't give you this chance, Xiangnan said. Thank you to Lao Shenzasang, Daos Hung 123, Book Friends 201701052133111538, and Book Friends 2020110911135192 for your monthly votes. Thanks for all the votes and reading. Have a good evening everyone. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1844. Xiongnan went to Hangzhou a day early on Thursday. She went to Hangzhou in advance to meet with the screenwriter, Lao Tuo, one of the screenwriters who originally wrote Shakespeare and Tang Xianzu. The reason why Lao Tuo is called Lao Tuo is not only because he always likes to drag when submitting manuscripts, but also because he likes to wear a pair of flip-flops barefoot no matter it is summer or winter. Even though it was snowing heavily outside, he came here barefoot and wearing slippers. Xiangnan had contacted Lao Tuo a long time ago, but Lao Tuo didn't have time. He was locked in a room in the Hongdian Hotel to write the script. It was said that there was a security guard standing at the door of the room 24 hours a day, and the meals were delivered. He couldn't finish the script until he finished it. Let him out. Lao Mo rushed back to Hangzhou from Hongdian on Thursday morning and called Xiangnan. Xiangnan made an appointment with Lao Tuo. The two of them met at a tea house in Hungmen Bureau at 8 o'clock that evening. This place was at the back door of the China Academy of Art. There were galleries and antique shops next to and opposite. When Xiang Nan arrived, it was almost 8 o'clock, but she was not in a hurry at all. After parking the car, she walked slowly to the tea house. Based on past experience, if the appointment is at 8 o'clock, the boss will usually not show up until 8:30. When Xiang Nan was about to walk to the door of the tea house, someone knocked on the floor-to-ceiling glass beside him. Xiang Nan turned around and unexpectedly found that Lao Mo was already sitting in the tea house, knocking on the glass to greet her. Xiang Nan quickly take a few steps in. "Come on, Captain Feng, we agreed today, I'm going to treat you," Lao Mo said to Xiang Nan as soon as she sat down. Xiang Nan smiled. "Why, did you make money in Hongdian?" The old man chuckled. "Have you finished writing the TV series?" Xiang Nan asked. "You won't let me out until I finish writing," Lao Mo said. "Why didn't you write a play and went to write a TV series for others?" Xiang Nan asked. "I can't support myself by writing plays," Lao Mo said. "I have been writing for 7 or 8 years, and I can barely make ends meet." Xiang Nan nodded and asked, "Then you've tasted the sweetness and now you don't even bother writing plays, right?" "Don't tell me, I'm really too lazy to write other plays," Lao Mo said, "but I will definitely take over Captain Feng's job. Tell me what you want to write." Lao Mo said this sincerely. He thought Xiang Nan was quite interesting. Although she was a girl, she was very energetic. It was not because Xiang Nan brought him together with the Shanghai Nessa to collaborate on Shakespeare and Tang Xianzu, won the Huabiao Award for Best Screenplay. As a screenwriter, it really makes a difference whether there is this award or not. After all, the Huabiao Award is the highest government award. After receiving this award, Lao Tuo's worth will be different. When his agent introduces him, he will directly talk to him. The investor said that Lao Tuo is a national-level screenwriter who has won the Huabiao Award and can be found online. As for the investors, how did they know that although he was a screenwriter, writing dramas and writing TV series were completely different things? Fortunately, Lao Tuo changed his roles very quickly. He is now a well-known TV series screenwriter in Hangzhou. Lao Tuo has a good impression of Xiang Nan, and is even a little grateful. He feels that in fact, the entire structure of the play was built by Xiang Nan. If she is one of the screenwriters, it is natural for her to sign her name, but if you don't do this, it's like Lao Tuo knows that the director of this drama is actually Xiang Nan, but she didn't sign her name as the director. There really aren't many people these days who don't go ahead with good things. Xiang Nan seems to just concentrate on acting well, with a sense of duty and no hesitation. Everything else doesn't matter. Lao Mo really admires it, so today I met Xiang Nan. He arrived here early at 8 o'clock as scheduled. Xiang Nan told Lao Tuo his thoughts, and Lao Tuo became happy when he heard it. He said that the subject matter was good. A group is a small society. From this group, we can reflect the bizarre world, and this, even if it is written as a TV series, it is also a very interesting drama. Lao Mo, I promise you, as soon as our play starts, I agree with you to change it into a TV series, Xiang Nan said. "Okay, Captain Feng, if I change it into a TV series, I will definitely sign it on the title, adapted from the Wu opera of the same name by Yongcheng Wu Opera Troupe. This is also a publicity for our troupe," Lao Tuo said. "Okay, then let me thank you first," Xiang Nan said with a smile, and then asked, "Do you have Momo?" "Yes, I was dragged in by an assistant director in Hongdian," Lao Mo said, "but it was so smoky inside that I was too lazy to speak, and I was too embarrassed to leave. Then Yin Tao and the others will pull you into several groups, and they will go to group gatherings with you. You can collect materials and feel the atmosphere," Xiang Nan said to Lao Tuo, and Lao Tuo agreed. Xiang Nan thought for a moment and said, "But you can't say you are a screenwriter, as this will sell out Yin Tao and the others." You can say you are. I said I was a painter, Lao Tuo said when he saw the gallery opposite, and smiled to the south. Okay, your image looks similar. What do you mean, Captain Feng? Are you saying I'm sloppy? Asked the old man. Xiang Nan said quickly, no, no, painters nowadays are not sloppy. They all wear Armani casual suits, drink red wine and smoke cigars. I mean, you have a similar temperament and can get away with it. The old man grinned. The time and place of the group gathering were posted in the group announcement, and Zhe also specifically at Xiongnan. The time was 6 o'clock on Friday night, and the location was a hotel in Manjualong. It was Xiaongnan's first time to attend such a gathering with strangers, so she was still a little nervous. She kept telling herself, why are you nervous? Just treat it like a performance. She deliberately found a pair of jeans from Half an Acre Field, a t-shirt produced by Old Tang and others, and a pair of Converse sneakers. This outfit was still her daily routine in high school, and now she wears it, facing south looking in the mirror. She saw that it still fit her very well, and she felt a little proud. How long have you been wearing this? After graduating from high school, I went to film school. Everyone was competing for excellence. Xiang Nan didn't compare with others, but he didn't dress very plainly to appear unique. That would be too pretentious. At that time, even if Xiang Nan was casual, a t-shirt and a pair of jeans will definitely be famous brands and expensive. Wenwen and Xiongnan said that we couldn't dress like working girls in Beijing, especially when we went to meet with those unscrupulous investors and producers. We were so poorly dressed that they thought we were waiting for his food. $3 or $5 can get us done. Wenwen took her to buy almost all the clothes that Xiang Nan wore when she was studying in film school. Wenwen wouldn't even look at anything worth less than 2,000, and Xiang Nan wasn't allowed to look at it. But after returning to the troupe, Xiang Nan could make her own decisions, and she began to be more casual. In the troupe, she wore bloomers and a t-shirt when going to and from work, like everyone else. In winter, she wore bloomers and a cashmere sweater, with an extra layer on top. A downcoat and a pair of practice shoes on my feet are just for convenience. I can walk to the practice room next door anytime and anywhere, and just kick off my feet. There are 2 sets of formal suits hanging in the cupboard in her office. When she is going to a meeting or to see Sun Jin, Xiongnan will change her clothes, put on her leather shoes and go out. When she comes back, she can't wait to change back into bloomers. What pants, there will be bloomers. So comfortable. At 5 o'clock, Xiang Nan's cell phone rang. She looked at it and walked out without answering. The call was from Zhou Ruyi. Xiang Nan didn't want to drive today, and taxis were not easy to get at this time. Zhou Ruyi, this is to send her to Manjualong. Xiang Nan walked to Zhou Ruyi's car. Zhou Ruyi rolled down the window and shouted to Xiang Nan, "Goddess, are you going to make your debut like this?" Xiang Nan looked at himself up and down and asked, "Why, it can't be done." "It's okay, it's just that I'm not used to it. This suddenly brings me back to my green years." "Come on up," Zhou Ruyi shouted. After Xiongnan got into the car, Zhou Ruyi continued, "Yes, you are naturally beautiful. All the clothes you wear on your body are a burden to you." "Then I'll go naked," Xiang Nan scolded, and Zhou Ruyi laughed. "If this is the case, all the men along the way will be blessed. Roll." "Okay, start rolling." Zhou Ruyi started the car and asked Xiongnan, "When will you also arrange a museum show and go to my place to experience life?" "Okay, I can arrange a character. She is you. She works in the museum during the day and goes crazy in the group at night." Xiang Nan smiled. "It's better to have sex," Zhou Ruyi said. "By the way, take a look and see if there are any handsome guys in this shabby group. If there are any, pull me in." Xiang Nan looked at Zhou Ruyi and asked, "Are you really feeling spring?" "Yeah, summer is coming to an end. If I don't find someone else, I guess there won't be anyone who will get under the covers with me this winter, Joruyi said. Shameless. Why are you so shameless, Xiongnan? You and Zhang Xiangbei don't get under the covers. Tell the truth, have you ever got under the covers? Haha, you're blushing, you're blushing. Tell me, how is Zhang Xiangbei doing under the covers? Go away. Xiangnan got a little anxious and panicked, and cursed, it's such a hot weather, why should we get under the covers to cover up the prickly heat? It's okay, people who are passionately in love are warm in winter and cool in summer. After Joruyi finished speaking, Gu Ziyi laughed. The car turned into Huipeo Road, and Joruyi asked, do you want me to wait for you here? Xiangnan said no, I'll take a taxi back later. Hey, I'm just worrying. There must be a dozen people sending you off later, but you have to be careful, Joruyi said. What are you careful about? Xiangnan asked. Don't let him deliver it to your doorstep, Joruyi said. Xiangnan asked curiously, why? Your house is now more than 60,000 square meters per square meter. No one who lives there will ride a bicycle to and from get off work. Don't expose the secret, Joruyi said. Xiangnan nodded and said, okay, I understand, thank you for reminding me. The car turned from Huipeo Road to Manjualong Road and drove forward for about 100 meters. There was a fork in front of the road. There were two wooden signs at the intersection. One said the name of the hotel heading south, and the other, indicates the parking lot to go forward. This branch road is very narrow and cars cannot enter. Xiangnan and Joruyi said, I'll get off the bus right here. Joruyi stopped the car, got out of the car and walked southward. South, south. Joruyi shouted, stop to the south, turned around. Joruyi said to her, if there is an emergency, remember to send me the code immediately, I will arrive on Pegasus. Xiangnan raised his right hand and made an OK gesture. Thank you Xiaoshen Nian Fang 48, Quadratic VC, and 2 fish for the reward. Thank you Guandian Electrical and Mechanical, Book Friend 16125193046744, 0 is clear, very guest Changfei, HJ, Dust Mood, Hydrogen Oxide Disinfection Knowledge Bureau, Book Friend 1103052217155671, Crush Killer VIP, Book Friend 201912170332388847, Huanyuleng Muo, Major 7, Daos Hung 123. San Ran Daxia's monthly ticket. Thanks for all the votes and reading. I wish you all good health. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1845. The hotel was renovated from a two-story farmer's house. There used to be a courtyard and a courtyard wall in front of the door. Now that the courtyard wall has been demolished, the courtyard is connected to the mountainous forest outside, making it feel more spacious. In the open space in front of the door, there is a wooden table 4 or 5 meters long on one side, and 3 square tables on the other side. There are more than a dozen people sitting around the long table on that side, but there are 3 square tables here. 2 empty ones. The tables here are all made of logs and have been painted with varnish on the outside. They look very rustic. The stools are also benches made of logs. 2 or 3 people can share one stool. Looking southward, she looked to both sides. Some of the people eating on both sides were also looking towards her. She walked southward through the open space in front of the door and walked into the house. In the house, even the original layout had not been changed. There was a hall in front and 2 side rooms on both sides. There are 4 or 5 small square tables in each room, only the one in front of the hall has a round table, and no one is sitting on it. Xiangnan wondered if this was the round table for their group gathering, and he had come early. She rushed south all the way here, but when she got here, she was confused and didn't know who she should look for. A waiter saw her standing here stupidly and came over to ask her who ordered the meal. Xiang Nan was speechless for a moment and thought to herself, how do I know? I don't even know the names of those people. How do I know that they are? Who ordered it? While Xiang Nan was hemming and hawing in embarrassment, someone behind him asked, are you a cat? Xiang Nan quickly turned around and saw a man in his 20s or 19 years old standing behind her. Xiang Nan nodded, you are. I'm Jie, the man said, we were outside, and I saw you walking in, so I thought it might be you. Let's go. Oh, thank you. Xiang Nan said and hurriedly followed him out. Only then did he realize that the group of people sitting at the long table were the Chi Pa Kong. People at the table watched Jie leading a girl towards them. Everyone stood up. Someone asked curiously, is this a cat? So beautiful. Jie led Xiang Nan closer and said to everyone, this is a cat. Everyone said welcome, and a short, fat, round-faced woman waved towards the south. Cat, come sit here with me and stay away from these perverts. Someone immediately cursed, aren't you afraid of being raped by you? Xiang Nan walked over and sat down next to the woman. The woman said to Xiang Nan, I am the little goblin. Xiang Nan was slightly surprised. He felt that this name did not match this person. The little goblin seemed to know what Xiang Nan was thinking and asked. Isn't it different? Should I be called Little Apple? You've never seen such a round little fairy, right? Xiang Nan burst into laughter and quickly waved his hands and said, no, no, I thought you were so fierce in the group, but now I see. Not gentle either, the little fairy chuckled. Okay, let me introduce you to everyone first. You all know each other. Only the cat is new. Jie began to introduce Xiangnan one by one. He introduced one person, and Xiangnan smiled and nodded at that person, connecting their online names with real people. Among the people at this table, except Xiang Nan, there are only 3 women, one is Little Fairy, one is Sisi, and the other is Yesterday Breeze, but everyone only calls her Breeze. There is a guy named Stapler's dad who is just called Stapler, and there is also a guy whose online name is The Lonely Captain, but everyone just calls him Captain. Even though they are already acquaintances, they always refer to each other by their online names. From the moment Xiangnan sat down, everyone called her Old Cat. Old Mao, are you an actor? Sisi sitting opposite her kept staring at her. After Jie finished the introduction, she suddenly asked. Xiang Nan was startled and said quickly, no, no. Hey, Sisi, when you say that, I think the old cat looks like an actor, said the little fairy. No, it's really not, Xiang Nan quickly denied. That's wrong, who are you and that person on the internet? Sisi tilted her head, thinking hard. Is it Xiang Nan? Xiang Nan asked, many people say that I look like her. Sisi said it right, Xiangnan, Feng Xiangnan, they are exactly the same. Are you really not her? How could I be her? Xiang Nan smiled, I'm from school. Are you a teacher? Yesterday Breeze said, what a coincidence, so am I. I'm not a teacher, I'm an administrator, LinkedIn, you know, Xiang Nan asked. I know, when I was taking the postgraduate entrance examination, I went to your training class. Your principal was a female Taiwanese, and she spoke very eloquently. Yesterday Breeze said. Xiang Nan smiled and said, yes, Principal Lin. Come on, let's all have a drink and welcome the old cat to join us. Jie said, raising the glass in his hand. Everyone raised their glasses. Xiang Nan also raised their glasses and clinked glasses with everyone. He was secretly relieved that he had finally passed the test of the 3 trials. Xiangnan didn't drink alcohol originally, but when she got here, other people's glasses were full of wine and there were no drinks on the table. She had no choice but to drink beer. When she saw all the men, they picked up their glasses. They all drank it in one gulp. The 3 women only drank half of it. Xiang Nan took a big sip and put down the cup. The food was served, and because it was a long table, each dish was served in 2 portions, one at the other end of the table and one at this side. Everyone subconsciously leaned toward the 2 ends of the table, leaving the middle empty. Curly asked, "Why didn't the cat come?" Ceci pursed her lips, "It's Zhe's fault. In the group announcement, he didn't mention that today is little Fatty's treat." Zhe argued, "Didn't we already say in the conversation that she can't translate it herself? There are so many conversations in the group every day, who would read them? If it weren't for at mine, I wouldn't read them either," said Little Fairy. Xiang Nan listened to their conversation with confusion. She knew that they were talking about another cat, but she just couldn't understand why the cat didn't see that it was little Fatty who was treating guests. "I won't come to the group gathering anymore." It was not convenient for her to ask. "It's my fault, little Fatty, that you don't even at the cat when you treat us." 3-5 said to little Fatty. Little Fatty responded with a smile, "Blame me, blame me, blame me. Ouch, me." Director shouted outside. Everyone followed his gaze and saw a young man with fair skin and a delicate face walking towards them, holding a pretty girl by the hand. Xiang Nan could tell at a glance that this guy was all wearing famous brands. His clothes and beach shorts were from Balenciaga, his feet were from Clover coconut shoes, he was holding a Prada handbag, and he was wearing a Vacheron Constantin Maestro on his wrist. There were only 2 empty seats in the middle of the entire table, facing each other. Little Fatty quickly stood up and shouted, "My uncle, sit here." Xiao Pang seemed to be the youngest person present. He took his own wine glass and cutlery, ran to the empty seat opposite and sat down, making 2 empty seats here for me and the girl. I looked at Xiongnan as soon as he sat down. Xiongnan smiled at him and said, "I'm a cat." "Cat, hello, hello, I am." "I know, you are me." Xiang Nan said with a smile. "And, what's the name of this beauty?" Curly Hair shouted, You can't hide private goods." The girl smiled and said, "My name is Yao Yao. If you're not in the group, director, please bring her in quickly." Curly continued to shout. I scolded, No, she is my girlfriend." "What's wrong with my girlfriend? You don't have a seal." Little Guai Guai shouted. "That's right, you can't be so stingy, Yao Yao, take out your phone quickly and don't listen to me." The lonely captain scolded, and other people also followed suit. Yao Yao blushed, and she looked at me with some embarrassment. Ceci, who was sitting next to her, picked up her cell phone, shouted, "Look what he's doing. That coward can't protect you. There's no one big or small in the group. Don't be afraid. I'll add it to you," he said, swiping his hands, and handed the phone to Yao Yao. "Password." Yao Yao pressed a string of passwords, turned on her phone, and Ceci clicked on Momo. Immediately, the administrator director pulled her into the group and shouted, "Sing, sing." Ceci clicked, put the phone in front of Yao Yao's mouth, and said to Yao Yao, "You have to sing a cappella for 30 seconds when you join the group, so sing quickly." Yao Yao suppressed her blushing, "I can't sing." "You have to sing even if you can't sing." Curly Hair, director, 3-5 and others have already stood up and walked over. It seems that if Yao Yao does not join the group today, they will not let her go. Yao Yao looked at me for help, and me said, "I can't help it. You have already joined the group, so what can I do?" "Sing quickly, sing quickly," Ceci urged. Yao Yao had no choice but to close her eyes and sing in a high-pitched voice, "A group of ducks are passing under the bridge in front of the door / come on, count them / how many ducks are there?" "Okay, 38 seconds, that's it," Ceci said and returned the phone to Yao Yao. "If you let her go so quickly, no one from you will come out to torture her?" asked the little goblin. "No time." 3-5 said immediately. You people, do you become soft-hearted when you see a beautiful woman? The little goblin scolded. You can torture her. We'll watch and see if you can force her out of the group. The stapler's daddy said. Everyone laughed, and the little goblin glared at him, but there was nothing he could do. While everyone was making such a fuss, the group leader just sat there and remained silent, just looking at everyone with a smile. Xiang Nan watched from the side, and she felt that the weirdness of these people was indeed a gesture. When they were in such close contact, it was still normal, and even their jokes were a bit vulgar. Thinking of this, Xiang Nan suddenly felt a little bored. She lowered her head and yawned quietly. When she raised her head, she found Zhe looking at her, and Xiang Nan quickly averted his eyes. Seeing that dinner had come to an end, Curly said, "Can we start the game?" Everyone else said yes. Little Fatty blushed and said, "You can't play. I may not have enough money. If you want to play, just a." Xiang Nan sounded a little strange. What kind of money does this game need? Is it gambling? Little Goblin said to her, "These people go crazy when they play games. They want at least 70 or 80 bottles of beer." Xiang Nan was surprised and understood. It turned out to be a game of drinking. A bottle of beer here costs 6 yuan. 70 or 80 bottles would cost 400 or 500 yuan. No wonder Little Fatty said he might not have enough money. Xiang Nan wanted to say "I please." She wanted to see what kind of game they were playing, but she thought it was too abrupt. When the words came to her mouth, she swallowed them back. "Let's go and sing at my place," Stapler's daddy said, and everyone stood up. Thank you to Lao Shenza Sang, Yan Xin, HGX, Tamagotchi, Major 7, Very Kachin Fei, Kissing Pig, Zipanjiang 1, Book Friends 20210116121915804 for your monthly votes. Thanks for all the votes and reading. Have a good evening everyone. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1846. Everyone walked out together, and I came over and asked Xiang Nan, "How did you get here?" Xiang Nan said, "It's a fight. Let's go in my car." Me said. Xiang Nan subconsciously looked at Yao Yao, who was not far away, and said immediately, it's okay, she can sit in the back, she has the biggest group of friends. My uncle, the biggest friend in the group, can I sit in your convertible? Little Fatty came out of nowhere and asked me. Get out of here, little kid. I scolded. Old Mao, are you driving? Director came up and asked. Xiongnan quickly said no, I can take a taxi. Take my car and go together, Breeze will also ride in my car. Director said. Xiangnan quickly said yes. She smiled apologetically at me, and me scolded, Director, what the hell do you mean, are you taking advantage of me? Director scolded back, don't look at the height of this mountain, or let Yao Yao follow me. Xiongnan frowned. She felt that such a joke was really boring. Xiao Pang shouted, let's go, old cat, I'll take the director's car too. We walked from the fork in the road to Manjualong Road, and then walked 40 to 50 meters further. There was a large parking lot, located between towering trees. It was flattened and used as a parking lot. The restaurants and tea houses in this area parked their cars here. Several people walked to the director's car. The director was about to let Xiangnan sit in the passenger seat. Yesterday Breeze quit and cursed. What do you mean, director, the new guy is better than the old guy? My passenger seat is gone. Director smiled shamelessly, yes, I like the new but hate the old, is that okay? Xiangnan quickly said, I'll sit in the back. Yesterday Breeze was about to say director when someone honked the horn twice. Everyone turned around and saw that I was driving a black Audi TT, and Yao Yao was sitting in the passenger seat. The car hood has been lowered, I raised his right hand and snapped his fingers. Little Goblin shouted, "Me, I'll give you a ride." I stepped on the accelerator, and the car jumped out ruthlessly. The ignored Little Goblin cursed you, the other people laughed. Xiang Nan took this opportunity to sit in the back seat of Director Passat, and Little Fatty followed suit. Yesterday Breeze and Director got into the car and were about to leave, when Xiang Nan's left door opened. Zhe squeezed in, so Xiang Nan could only move to Little Fatty to make room for him. "Why, Zhe, you won't take Ceci's car today?" After yesterday Breeze finished speaking, he added half jokingly and half seriously, "Old cat, you are really sweet. These men, I afraid they'll fight over you." Director and Zhe were silent, and Little Fatty burst into laughter. Xiang Nan didn't know how to answer this, so he could only smile awkwardly. Their destination was Sangzhen Building on Xintang Road. Stapler's daddy's mass-selling KTV was on the 5th floor of Sangzhen Building. It was actually the 4th floor. In order to avoid the word 4, it became the 5th floor building. It is now around 8 o'clock in the evening, which is when the business of the karaoke bar is at its best. It can be seen that the business here is average. Although the doors of the private rooms are closed, when passing by to the south, I found that half of the doors were silent. Quietly, no one. There were many of them, and the Stapler's dad led them into a large box. They had just sat down when the door opened and the waiter walked in. What surprised Xiang Nan was that the waiter saw the Stapler dad. Not only did the employees not have the same attentiveness as when they saw the boss, but they seemed to sigh and murmured softly. "You again? Come on, let's bring some wine, 2 boxes first." The Stapler's daddy greeted the waiter. The waiter looked at him and didn't say yes or no, but turned around and walked out. The Stapler's daddy hurriedly chased after him, as if he was outside the door. In the corridor, he grabbed the waiter. The door was not closed tightly, and Xiang Nan happened to be sitting near the door again. She heard the conversation between the two people outside. The Stapler's dad scolded, "What do you mean? You just showed a face when you saw me and asked you to serve wine, didn't you hear?" The waiter said, "You already owe more than 50,000 yuan. Damn it, I won't pay what I signed. Will you refuse to accept the bill? Do you want me to call Lao Wu and let him talk to you?" Okay, if you say yes, I'll serve it for you." The waiter got impatient, threw away the Stapler dad and left. The Stapler's daddy came back, and no one in the box pretended to see him. The Stapler's daddy shouted, "Sing, why is no one singing?" "I'll sing," cried the little goblin. The door of the box opened again, and a small girl with a delicate face appeared at the door. The person in the box shouted, "Cat is here." Only then did Xiang Nan realize that this girl was another cat. She also immediately understood why she was called Old Cat as soon as she entered. The cat was only about 1.5 meters tall. She was very thin and very young, probably only 18 or 19 years old. In terms of size and age, most cats would be bigger than her. Cat looked around and soon found Xiang Nan. She walked towards Xiang Nan and asked, "You must be the old cat." Xiang Nan nodded. "Sister cat, you are so beautiful." "You're pretty, too," Xiang Nan said with a smile. Where Xiang Nan was sitting, one side was the armrest of the sofa, and the other side was yesterday's Breeze. Curly came over and made sure to get in between the two of them, and said that he just liked sandwiches. Cat said to Curly, "Get out of the way, we two cats want to sit together." Cat said and sat down. Before Curly had time to get out of the way, Cat was already sitting on his lap. Curly took advantage of the situation and hugged her from behind. Cat twisted, he moved and shouted loudly, "Go away." Everyone in the box looked over and laughed, and someone shouted loudly, "Curly is eating tofu again." Curly smiled proudly and said, "I've already eaten it. It's not big, the bun is not small, and there is still a lot of stuffing. Cat poked Curly Hair hard with his elbow, and Curly Hair let her go and ran away. The cat sat between Siang Nan and Yesterday Breeze. The little fairy started to sing. She sang Hum a Song and Wait for the Sunset by Cao Fang. Her voice was nice and slightly hoarse. When she sang, she had a loose and comfortable feeling. She was also very soon I was immersed in my own singing. After singing the song, everyone applauded, and Siang Nan applauded very energetically and sincerely. When the music started playing again, Zhang Xian's children's song appeared on the screen. The little fairy walked towards Siang Nan, and she handed the microphone to Siang Nan. "I ordered your song for you." Only then did Siang Nan know that when she joined the group that day, someone said they liked her voice. It turned out to be a little fairy. He didn't even notice it, so he just remembered her fierce face. Siang Nan held the microphone in his hand, but hesitated in his heart. They were already doubting whether he was Siang Nan. If he really sang this song well, it would deepen their suspicion. But it was impossible for me to say that I couldn't sing at this time. When I joined the group, I sang this song. Siang Nan held the microphone in his hand. Singing was a must and it was absolutely impossible to sing well. Siang Nan could only think about Zhou Ruyi's off-key singing and prepared to imitate her. Siang Nan started singing. Halfway through the song, everyone in the box fell silent. Everyone looked at her. Siang Nan knew that she was scared. They probably didn't expect that someone could sing so horribly. That's because none of them had ever heard Zhou Ruyi sing. Siang Nan was sweating while singing. She had never thought of anything before. It turned out that it was very difficult to sing out of tune. As long as she didn't pay attention, she would say something, which almost exposed her true level. Coming out, Siang Nan quickly pulled it aside. After finally singing, everyone applauded her, but this was polite, no one would let her sing another song. Siang Nan chuckled in his heart, thinking that he probably wouldn't have to suffer the pain of playing Zhou Ruyi anymore. No one here wants to hear her sing. The little fairy came over. She sat down on the coffee table opposite Siang Nan and asked. "The a cappella singing that day in the group was not sung by you yourself?" Siang Nan said yes. Little Goblin shook his head and said in confusion, "It's impossible, you shouldn't be at this level." Siang Nan quickly said, "I have a good singing career, so I might have performed better that day." The little goblin laughed, "It's weird, you can still sing and have fun." "Yeah, it's not weird." "Who can join this group?" Siang Nan said. Little Goblin, Cat, and Yesterday Breeze all laughed. Some people continued to sing, while others were playing dice to win. The 2 boxes of beer were quickly gone. The stapler's dad asked for 2 more boxes, and the 2 waiters moved in with displeasure on their faces. In the meantime, Siang Nan went to the bathroom, and the little fairy happened to go there too. The 2 of them stood at the sink and washed their hands. Siang Nan couldn't help it anymore and asked. "The stapler is the boss here." "Actually, he's just a small shareholder." Little Goblin said, "This guy is very generous. He brings everyone here, and he always treats us." He's pretending to be fat, so every time we come, the waiter sees us. It's like meeting an enemy. It's actually very boring, but there's nothing I can do about it. If I don't come here, there will be nowhere for so many people to go, don't you think?" Siang Nan finally understood what the conversation she heard between the stapler's father and the waiter in the corridor meant. She wanted to say, "Can't everyone do a," but after thinking about it, she didn't say it. If someone is not a, there must be a reason why he is not a. You are the one who is the best. The 4 boxes of beer were quickly finished, and the waiter brought in 2 more boxes. When the waiter left, Siang Nan told him, "2 more boxes." The waiter ignored her and walked out. After waiting for 10 minutes, Siang Nan didn't see the waiter come in. She got up and walked out, walked to the bar, and said to the cashier, 1101 pays the bill. The cashier looked up at her strangely and asked the person next to him, isn't 1101 a signature? Yes, they are all signed. When did you buy the order? The person next to him curled his lips. I'll buy it today, Siang Nan said. Okay, the cashier immediately agreed and said to Nan, in this way, I will use my credit card and swipe the pre-authorization of 3,000. If you need anything, ask your waiter to deliver it. Finally, you can just pay here directly, okay? Okay, okay, the cashier said. After Siang Nan signed, he walked back to the box and sat down. After a while, the waiter came in with 2 boxes of beer. When he left, he smiled and nodded to Siang Nan. Thank you for the rewards at 3 o'clock in the middle of the night, Quadratic VC, Zengji. I don't know anyone who asks, Dal Tin Soldier, flipping through books every day, ranking third from top to bottom, and 2 fishes one above the other. Thank you for 3 o'clock in the middle of the night, and, how, Kissing Pig, Lao Shenza Sang, Tamagotchi, Shachen Mood, Lao Chen Tang, Smelly Socks, Xiao Shen Nian Fang 48, Very K Chang Fei, Heart is Silent, Book Friends 1105130937470003, Daos Hung 123, Fan Paizi's Travels, Yuangzi, Book Friends 1205170637068116 Monthly Pass. Thanks for all the testimonials and reading. I wish you all good health. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1847. Playing until midnight, the director said let's go for a late night snack. Everyone agreed, but then, several men started fighting over who should treat. They were not fighting over who wanted to treat, but who should treat. They blamed each other and told each other why they should treat each other. Mi and Yao Yao lowered their heads together, and were whispering. It seemed that they didn't hear what they were arguing about. Director said that Little Fatty should invite Little Fatty. It's a violation of the group rules. The group rules say that the treat will be next time. Today is not over yet, it will be included in this next time. Curly and the lonely captain both said that the director was right. Little Fatty was startled and said quickly, I have no money anymore. Either everyone is a. The group leader Zhe, who had been sitting silently, spoke up. Sissy and Little Fairy immediately said yes, and Stapler's dad shouted, a fart, I'm here to invite you. Sitting there, Siang Nan couldn't stand it anymore. She felt that not only the little goblin knew that the Stapler's dad was trying to make a fool of himself, but everyone else in the room also knew it, and they still wanted to know it. Asking him to treat guests, Siang Nan felt that this was not authentic. She couldn't eat such a midnight snack anyway, but she also wanted to know how the day would end. Siang Nan said, I'll invite you. It's my first time to meet you all today. This is a thank you to you all. What do you want to eat? Okay, their school's income is very high, almost twice as much as ours. Yesterday, Breeze said immediately, and Little Goblin glared at her. Siang Nan smiled and said, let's go to Huanglong seafood stall, okay. She originally wanted to go to Tuxianjiayuan Hotel. In response to the requests of customers, the lobby now also serves late-night snacks in the evening. Xiangnan was afraid of going there. The waiters all knew her, and she would soon be there. After revealing his secret, he proposed to go to Huanglong. Everyone else said yes. I and Yao Yao were still whispering, but more often than not, I would pull Yao Yao and whisper, because as soon as the others said yes, Yao Yao and Cat immediately stood up and were ready to go. When setting off, Xiangnan still took the director's car, but this time, yesterday Breeze did not compete with her for the passenger seat, but sat in the back seat with Little Goblin and Cat, while several men, they all squeezed into Cici's car, and 3-5s and Xiaopang took the 3-5's motorcycle. When we arrived at the Huanglong seafood stall, Xiangnan specially took us to an unfamiliar stall. There was no room for one table, so they put two tables together. Xiangnan was not polite and asked them to order. She walked to the seafood pool and quickly ordered the food. She came back and sat down. She told them to order what they wanted to drink. I don't know how to drink. Ordered coconut juice. Everyone else said they wanted to drink beer, so Xiangnan asked the boss to serve 3 shots of beer first. She saw the stapler's father sitting across from him, looking at her blankly. Xiangnan knew from his expression that you should already know that Xiangnan has already purchased today's order in the karaoke hall. The total purchase is 1,620 yuan, and the deduction message has been sent. Xiangnan smiled at him. The dishes came quickly one after another, and a strange atmosphere appeared on the wine table. Everyone became silent, eating the food with their heads down, rarely talking to each other, and clinking glasses and no longer making any noises. Although Xiangnan did not reveal his identity, everyone knew that the prices of these dishes were expensive. The late-night snacks on this table cost more than 3,000 or 4,000. Looking at Xiangnan's momentum in ordering food and wine, even if she was, what was revealed inadvertently was the overwhelming momentum. Everyone understood that this little girl was quite powerful. There are some things that cannot be faked. Xiangnan raised his cup and said to everyone, "I'll give you a drink instead of wine. I think it's very interesting to join our weird control group. Everyone is indeed a weirdo. Remember to inform me next time the group gathers." The atmosphere on the table seemed to relax with a bang. Everyone raised their glasses and clinked their glasses with Xiangnan. The noise and bustle returned again. They finished eating after more than 1 o'clock, and everyone said goodbye to each other. This time, there were 2 more people in Mei's car, who left first, and then Cici's car also left. Little Fatty. Instead of going with 3-5s, I took a taxi with Little Goblin and yesterday's Breeze. Cat walked alone and didn't know where to go. Director lingered behind, and when everyone else had left, he said to Xiangnan, "Old Cat, I'll take you home." Xiangnan quickly pointed toward the seafood stall market and said, No, send me a message earlier. I have friends here for late-night snacks. I'll go sit with them." The director was a little frustrated and said, "Okay, see you next time." Xiangnan waved his hand and said, "See you next time." She walked south through the entire market, arrived at another exit, and got into a taxi. When the car drove to Shuguang Road, she saw a thin figure standing there under the streetlight on the roadside in front of her. It was Cat. Just as Xiangnan was about to tell the driver to stop for a moment under the streetlight, a car passed by and stopped in front of Cat. Cat opened the door and got in. Xiangnan saw, this car is none other than the director Passat. Xiangnan smiled softly and understood. It turned out that Cat walked away alone and was here to wait for someone. Xiangnan didn't understand again. If he got into the director's car earlier, what would happen next? Would the Cat have to wait here for an hour, 2 hours, or longer? Xiangnan shook her head. She almost wanted to curse. The car passed through intersections one after another and connected to street lights one after another. Those still active outside at this time were basically young men and women of her age. Xiangnan didn't know that in the middle of the night in the city, how many stories happen every day, how many people break up and get back together. It is very likely that as much laughter as there will be as many tears flying. Xiangnan took out his mobile phone and wanted to make a call to Zhangxiangbei. At this time, the sun was shining brightly in Zhangxiangbei's place, which was not suitable for whispering or talking to each other. However, Xiongnan still wanted to talk to Zhang Xiangbei. Bei said, I miss you, I missed you at night in Hangzhou. Xiangnan looked at the driver next to him and finally didn't make the call. The car arrived at the door of my house, and I got off south, but instead of going home, I walked towards the Meisi River. At this time, the Meisi River was deserted. I found a chair to sit down in the south and picked up the phone. Dialed out. Zhang Xiangbei's voice came from the phone. He asked, it's so late and you're not sleeping yet? No, I just came back. Didn't I tell you that I went to a group gathering? Xiangnan said. I know, I'm going to experience life, Zhang Xiangbei said with a smile. How is it? Not very good. What are you doing? Xiangnan asked. I was sitting on the lawn of the school with a few classmates, and we were discussing a business plan that would have credits, Zhang Xiangbei said. Xiangnan nodded and called out, Zhang Xiangbei. Yeah, I'm here. I miss you, Xiangnan said. I miss you too, Zhang Xiangbei said. What should I do? Do you want me to fly back? Go and discuss your business plan. I'm hanging up, Xiangnan said and hung up the phone. Xiangnan sat blankly for a while, then picked up the phone and called Zhou Ruyi. The phone rang for a long time before she was picked up. Zhou Ruyi said in a daze, hello. Xiangnan started to cry, you don't care about me either. Ah, Zhou Ruyi was shocked. She sat up from the bed and shouted, Xiongnan, Xiongnan, where are you? What's wrong with you? Xiangnan chuckled, and Zhou Ruyi breathed a sigh of relief, only to realize that Xiangnan was teasing her. Are you awake? Xiangnan asked. Zhou Ruyi cursed angrily, can I not wake up? Damn it, I thought you were dragged into a small dark room by 3 burly men. Xiangnan scolded back, is there anyone like you? You still said that if I had anything to do, I would give you a call. You rushed over on a flying horse, but ended up sleeping like a dead pig. Boss, take a closer look. What time is it now? It's 2 o'clock. It's early morning. What the hell can I do if I don't sleep? Sit in front of the window and look at the building opposite and window my hair? What the hell am I doing? You also need to have hair on your temples. Zhou Ruyi chirped and Xiangnan laughed endlessly. Zhou Ruyi asked, by the way, how was the party? Did any romantic encounters happen throughout the night? Yes, a lot, Xiangnan said. Not serious, Zhou Ruyi scolded, hey, are there any handsome guys? Yes, listen, Xiangnan said. Xiangnan went on to tell everyone in the group, from the hotel in Manchualong to the karaoke hall, from the karaoke hall to the Huanglong night stall, until the cat got into the director's car. On the other end of the phone, Zhou Ruyi listened quietly, and there was no sound at all. Xiangnan was confused and shouted, Zhou Ruyi, Zhou Ruyi. Zhou Ruyi didn't answer, but Zhou Ruyi's even snoring came from the phone. The next morning, Xiangnan drove back to Yongcheng. On the highway, her cell phone kept buzzing, which was the incoming WeChat message. When Xiongnan arrived at the Tonglu service area, she parked her car and picked up her phone to check. Many people in the group were asking her to chat privately. There were no women, all of them were men. She saw Zhe and Wan Mao, director, the lonely captain and 3 fives, strangely they are all men and there is no woman. She saw the text left by Stapler Dad and said to her, thank you, I spent a lot of money on you last night. Xiangnan replied, it's okay, it's a small matter, it should be done. When she saw mine sending her a kissing emoji and a rose, she felt sick in her heart. She wondered if Yao Yao was lying on his back when this bastard sent this. Beside, Xiongnan closed all the dialogue boxes and didn't bother to do anything except replying to the line Stapler's dad. It was already almost 11 o'clock at noon. Xiangnan slept late last night and woke up late today. He drove away when he got up and didn't even eat breakfast. At this time, he was a little hungry, so Xiang Nan ordered at the service area. After eating 2 dishes, we set out on our way. She got into the car and was about to start it when her phone rang. It was an unfamiliar number and Xiangnan picked it up. "Hello, old cat, I'm Jia." The voice of Jia came from the phone. 1841. A late night snack for so many people, Xiangnan quickly said, "Hello, Jia. I just passed by the entrance of your Lingying foreign language school, and I wanted to ask if you have time at noon. If you have time, I will treat you to dinner." Xiangnan was startled and said quickly, "Oh, I'm not at school. Today isn't Saturday. I'm at home, cooking with my mother." "Oh, that's unfortunate." "Yes, it happens to be Saturday. Let's meet at the next group gathering." Jia said yes. Xiangnan quickly hung up the phone. "Hey, dear, I didn't expect someone else to come to the door. If this really comes to the door, wouldn't they all be gangsters?" Xiangnan started the car. She was recalling it while driving. She couldn't remember when she told Jia that she was from the Linking foreign language school. She seemed to only be with Yesterday Breeze and Little Goblin. They said that at that time, Jia was at the other end of the table. Xiangnan shook his head, finally couldn't bear it any longer, and cursed, "Go to your grandma." "Thank you HGX, book friend 2019111520421547, book friend 2020061611543143, book friend 2017041509585542 for your monthly votes. Thanks for all the votes and reading. Have a good evening everyone. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1848. When Xiangnan arrived at the office, Yin Tao and 2 other girls were already waiting for her at the unit. They also participated in a group gathering last night, but it was in Yongcheng. The 4 of them were eager to communicate about the group gathering, especially the 3 of them, Yin Tao, were eager to know Xiangnan's situation. The 4 people talked to each other and found that although the people in each group were all different, they were all similar and there were no more new things. Xiangnan told them that only by digging deeper and deeper would they be able to dig out different stories. When Xiangnan said this, she felt guilty. Digging deeper requires time and energy, and she is really unwilling to waste time on these people. She even feels that each of them is not that deep. You can see the bottom at a glance. Basically, Xiangnan no matter what kind of people they are. When Xiangnan and Yin Tao were discussing the people in this group, she had already written down their characteristics on the paper in front of her. This was to be provided to Lao Tuo. Xiangnan asked Yin Tao to Tao and the others each wrote down their observations and would verify them when Lao Dao joined the group. Little Fatty and 3 Fives are at the bottom of the group, but they work hard to integrate into the group, and often show a bit of bravado. Jia is a typical free prostitute. In fact, he is the filthiest in his heart. He is more terrifying than Curly and the Lonely Captain, the kind of men who look pretty on the surface. He is just a hypocrite and does not know how to sit still. He talks and smiles slightly, but in fact, what is going on in his heart is all his thoughts. Once he gets close to a girl, he will definitely play the role of a warm boy. I is simply a worthless white copper. From top to bottom, his outfit looks European and American, but it is actually from Puxian. The Vacheron Constantine on his wrist was probably bought by a circle of friends for 600 yuan. There might also be a piece of jewelry in that Prada handbag. The fake invoice from a famous store in Hong Kong that we bought together was ready to fall out at any time to prove our innocence. If someone told Xiangnan that his Audi TT was rented or borrowed, Xiangnan would not be surprised at all. The characteristic of white copper is that it looks like silver, but it is actually just copper. Stapler's dad is another little fat, but he tried hard to integrate into this society, a relatively upper-class society, but he used the wrong strength, which made him unable to survive. As for the director, it would be a disaster for a woman to meet such a man. It's not that he is a playboy, but that he is actually a prostitute. In the relationship between men and women, he is unwilling to give and only wants to take. It's strange. It's a cat, but it will be with him. She is not with this director, but with all the men in the group. You think the men are whoring her, but in fact she is also whoring these men. Yintao put forward her own views on the role of cat. This is the reason why she avoids everyone and doesn't openly get into the director's car. She is avoiding them, being embarrassed by becoming a brother-in-law, and leaving herself room to continue dealing with other people. Xiangnan was stunned for a moment and asked, "You mean the cat is a chicken? It doesn't look like it to me." "It's not a chicken, but a Momo girl," Yintao said. "Momo girl?" Xiangnan asked. "Yes, in every group, there will be one or two Momo girls like this. Not surprising, not only in the group in Hangchang, but also in Yongcheng. I have met them." "What about you?" Yintao asked the other two actresses, and they all nodded. Tell me, what is this Momo girl like?" Xiangnan became interested and asked quickly. "Like us, they usually have more than a dozen groups. What is different from our purpose is that they rely on strangers to survive," Yintao said. "They usually sleep until they get up around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Then I check my phone to see which group is having a party that night. If I find one, I sign up immediately. Male A and female are exempt, so dinner is guaranteed. If there is no group gathering, just see if there is anyone to treat you. If there is no one, just say in the group, 'I'm hungry, I'm hungry. Is there anyone who wants to invite me to dinner?' Don't worry, there are always anxious men." She really hopes to invite girls to dinner. At this time, many men should be chatting with her privately, and she can choose where to eat at night. When Yintao said this, Xiangnan thought about it, and it was really similar. Why did they say yesterday that Cat didn't know that little fatty was treating him tonight, so he didn't come? This group is different from other groups. There is no such thing as a male or a female, and they want to be a when they come. But when I went to sing, she came right away. That was because I knew where to go, and it must be a treat from Stapler's daddy. "Are they not going to eat this kind of A's food?" Xiangnan asked. "Absolutely not. They want free dinners, free nightclubs, and free late-night snacks. Everything is free anyway," Yintao said. "Even if it's A, you don't have much money," Xiangnan said, surprised. "For the Momo girls, first, this is not a question of money, but a question of principle. Second, they really have no money themselves, because they are not chickens and do not make money by sleeping with people. What they got was basically some pocket money, which they used to pay rent and buy cosmetics, even 100 yuan, which is a lot of money to them," Yintao said. "Then how do they survive?" Xiangnan asked. "That's it," Yintao said. "Momo girls, of course, rely on strangers to survive. They usually have some good looks. They don't want too many men who covet them. They eat free dinners and play for free, and as long as they look for them, I'm sure I can find someone to treat them to midnight snacks. In this way, even if I only have 2 meals a day, it's already past midnight when I get home. If I fall asleep, it's the afternoon when I wake up. Then it starts over again," Xiangnan asked. "Yes, sometimes they will book a room with someone, or go to a man's room. They don't care whether the man has money or not. They only care about whether they hate him. If not, anyone can. Depending on their mood every day, they decide to be with different people. Men leave, and these men who like to eat wild food usually prostitute themselves for free, so what they get from them is only a small amount of money. Being coquettish, such as asking helpers to top up your phone bill, add a Momo membership, send a red envelope, buy a bag of snacks, that's basically it. This is how Momo girls survive. In this society, it's too difficult for women to survive. It's easy, just spread your legs a little bit. Yin Tao said. Everyone laughed. Yin Tao said, that's right, I want to tell Lao Mo that next, I will play a Momo girl in the play. Xiang Nan slapped the table with his hand and said, come on, let's discuss how to go deeper. How do I feel? In one night, I have already exhausted my skills. Yin Tao glanced at her and raised her lips. If you do this, you will definitely be in trouble. If you wrap yourself tightly and don't accept them, how can they reveal their true colors in front of you? How can you see to the real them? Then what do I want? Like the Momo girl, Xiang Nan asked. Yes, that's the best way to understand them, Yin Tao said. I don't want it, Xiang Nan snorted in disgust and quickly shook his head. Yin Tao stared at Xiang Nan and asked, are you physically repelling them? Yes, Xiang Nan nodded, it makes me sick just thinking about it. Then you're done. There's no market for White Lotus in Momo Group, Yin Tao said, at least you have to pretend not to be like White Lotus on the outside. Xiang Nan was discouraged. She shook her head and said, I can't do it. Then there's no need to do it. Just keep your purity, Yin Tao said, otherwise, we won't be able to explain to Zhang Xiangbei when the time comes. His father is our boss, and he can kick us kicked out. Get out, Xiang Nan slapped the table again and cursed. Yin Tao and the other two girls giggled. Yin Tao thought for a moment and asked, do you know everyone in the group? Which group? Xiang Nan asked. Chi Pa Control, how many groups do you have? Xiang Nan said with a grimace, I can't even handle this one. I know all the people who came to the party and basically know what kind of people they are. These are probably the backbone of this group, Yin Tao said, I have a solution. You retreat and I join. I join this group. You see how I play them around while you watch from the side. Then you'll know their true colors. Xiang Nan's eyes lit up and she said, that's okay. Come on, let's set up your role first, and then apply to join the group. She immediately had an idea and said to Yin Tao, by the way, Yin Tao, when you go in, you will be a Baifume. Do you know how Baifume should act? I know, isn't it you? Oh no, it's you who is more slutty, right? Yin Tao asked. Xiangnan laughed, and she said yes, let's see what happens when a white and rich girl joins the group. Well, when the time comes, you can play this Baifume and act debauched. Boss, you know how to do this, right? Yin Tao asked, nodding to the south. But Baifume needs strength, and I don't have that, Yin Tao said. Xiang Nan rolled his eyes at her and cursed, don't you just want money? If you want money, just say so. Yin Tao chuckled. Xiang Nan took out a credit card from his bag, handed it to Yin Tao, and said to her. This is my father's card. The limit is 20,000. Within this limit, you can swipe as much as you like. If you swipe it out, I will pay it back with my own money. Public funds cannot be used for this. Remember, the password is 1314. Signature signed by my dad. Captain Feng's card? Are you still using it? Yin Tao asked. Xiang Nan nodded and said, it's among my father's belongings. I can't bear to write it off. I keep using it. Xiang Nan said, her voice deepened. What she didn't tell Yin Tao and the others was that she often used this card to buy gifts for herself. That way, it would be as if it was really given to her by her father, who was still the same as before. I will remember to give her gifts on her birthdays and holidays. After Feng Logui passed away, there was a bank passbook with Xiang Nan's name placed together with this card. When Xiang Nan opened this passbook, he realized that this was the money he had given to his father over the years. They are all stored in this passbook. It seems that he is planning to return this passbook to her one day. The first amount of money in the bank book was 13,500 yuan, which was the New Year's money saved by Xiang Nan. She still remembers when she put this money together with the Zonghua cigarettes she bought at the small shop below Jiaohang. When I gave it to my father, he looked surprised and happy. Xiang Nan and Yin Tao said, "Just think of my father as helping us." Yin Tao picked up the card, bowed in the air, and said, "Thank you, Commander Feng." After putting away the card, Yin Tao choked up and said, "I was recruited by Commander Feng." Xiang Nan waved his hand and said, "Okay, let's not talk about this anymore. Also, when you go to the group gathering, you just drive my car. As for your profession, you just say you are Splendid China. Yes, you are familiar with Splendid China anyway, the characters have been set up, do you know how to do it?" "I know, I'd be a fool if I didn't know how to spend money," Yin Tao said. The other two girls giggled and asked Xiang Nan, "Boss, when will you give us a chance to play by Fume?" "No need to act," Xiang Nan said, "do it well, and you will be by Fume in the future. By the way, you have to learn to protect yourself, do you understand, Yin Tao?" Xiang Nan said. "I understand, boss," Yin Tao said. "I am by Fume, not a Momo girl. I want to make everyone drool, but I am too high to reach them." Thank you to Quadratic VC, Doll Tin Soldier, 2 fishes, 1 up and 1 down, for the rewards that I don't know even if you ask me. Thank you O0 Surrender and Lose Half 0 Dr. 147, 0 Clear, Wahaji, Lowercase English, Book Friend 201707241126511879, HGX, Deos Hung 123, Very Guest Chen Fei, Yins Hirong, Dong Long Dong, Yuan Wang, and Hao, So 2017119234219749, UN 11, CYTYP, Zizhiw, Feng Polang 26, Romantic Sakura Chin Shu Shu, Pampered Warriors Monthly Pass. Thanks for all the votes and reading. I wish you all good health. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1849. Yin Tao took out her mobile phone, opened Momo, changed her location to Hangzhou, and found the Chipa control group in Hangzhou. Xiang Nan told her the rules of joining the group. You need to sing a cappella for 30 seconds. You just sing with your own voice, by Fume. It's normal to sing well, right? Yin Tao looked at Xiang Nan and said, "I've never seen anyone praise themselves in such a roundabout way." All three laughed. Xiang Nan told Yin Tao again that after entering, there will be a burst of violence, and the one who dances the most happily is the little goblin, but don't be afraid, and don't have any scruples. Just scold him if you think of anything. If you cry or get angry after being scolded by you, in their group, only those who are scolded will be looked down upon. Remember, as long as you don't retreat, no one will kick you out. Yin Tao nodded and said, "I understand, I am a fair and beautiful person, how can I be someone who refuses to retaliate when scolded?" Xiang Nan smiled and said, "Yes, that's it, you can apply." "Okay," Yin Tao said and was about to apply to join the group. Stop, wait a minute," a girl next to me shouted. "What's wrong?" Both Xiang Nan and Yin Tao looked at her, and Yin Tao asked. The girl said, "Your Momo avatar is wrong. Who is white, rich and beautiful, and doesn't have a few pictures showing off their wealth?" When Xiang Nan and Yin Tao heard it, they both said it was right. There was not even a picture of him sitting in a car, holding the steering wheel. How could he be considered rich and beautiful like this? The four people immediately stood up and prepared to take pictures in the car facing south below. Yin Tao shouted, Wait, here's one first." She sat behind Xiang Nan's desk, her head lowered, and her hands on the keyboard of her Apple laptop, pretending to be typing. Xiang Nan took a picture of her. Anyway, there was nothing in the background except a row of cabinets. This office was designed by Zhang Chen. It was fashionable, simple, unique, and high-end enough. Yintao could definitely be used as an office. Make it your own office to show off. Yintao looked at Xiangnan's watch and bag, shook her head, and said, "Boss, aren't your watch and bag worth showing off?" Xiangnan smiled and said, "I do have Gucci and LV bags at home, but they were bought by Wenwen several years ago when I was still studying in Beijing. Is that okay?" "No," Yintao said angrily. "Have you ever seen Bai Fume show off her wealth and show off her fashionable bags? They all wear the latest styles of the season." Xiangnan spread his hands and said, "Then I don't have any." Yintao sighed, "You Bai Fume are a bit of a failure." Xiangnan cursed, "You didn't know until today." Yintao still didn't give up. She stood up and opened Xiangnan's cabinet. She saw the clothes hanging inside that Xiangnan wore for formal occasions. They were all Prada clothes, pants, and shoes. She said, "This is okay, I can wear it." This shot. She put her clothes on and told Xiangnan not to pat her head, but only her body. The focus was on the clothes, and the most important thing was the trademark. After the filming, Yintao asked, "Boss, think about it again, do you have anything worth showing off?" Xiangnan thought for a while and realized that she really didn't have any luxuries except those outdated bags. She asked tentatively, "Can I have a Cartier necklace with a leopard head?" "Show me quickly." Yintao's eyes lit up and she said quickly. Xiangnan took out the Cartier box from the drawer and handed it to Yintao. Yintao opened it and shouted, "This is great, more than 700,000 yuan, you can show off." Xiangnan was startled and asked, "How much did you say?" "More than 700,000, Yintao said. "No way, Zhang Xiangbei gave it to me. He said he bought it for more than 30,000 US dollars. "How could it be more than 700,000 US dollars, Xiangnan asked, and the three girls all laughed. Xiangnan was puzzled, "Why are you laughing?" "My silly boss, Zhang Xiangbei gave this to you, are you still unwilling to take it because you think it's too expensive for him?" Yintao asked. Xiangnan nodded and said, "Yes. Zhang Xiangbei knows you too well. He is deliberately trying to get an advantage," Yintao said. Xiangnan understood. She felt that it was really like this. More than 700,000 yuan, that is 100,000 US dollars. Even if the tariff is excluded, it would still cost 70,000 to 80,000 US dollars. If Zhang Xiangbei told herself the true price, then he will definitely be scolded by himself. Thinking of this, Xiangnan felt sweet and distressed at the same time. For 70 or 80,000 dollars, how many vegetables would Zhang Xiangbei have to sell and how many times would he go to the restaurant to deliver the food? Xiangnan looked at Yintao and asked, "That's not right. How come you know so much about these luxury goods?" Yintao giggled, "Isn't this the yearning for a better life?" The girl next to her called out, "Sister, Yintao is doing preparatory activities. When the rich second generation picks up her, she can come up with a list of several pages in one go." Yintao glared at her, "You don't want to?" I'm still waiting to snatch it from you," the girl said, and everyone laughed. Xiangnan shook his head, "I really don't know what you are thinking about." "Boss, do you think we are vulgar?" Yintao said, "I also think I am vulgar, but I can't help it. Who told me that it's not you now? I don't have a mother I can rely on, and a real person. I can only rely on my second-generation rich boyfriend for my future." After Yintao finished speaking, Xiangnan felt that she didn't know what to say, and the two girls were silent. Yintao put the necklace around her neck, looked at Xiangnan and laughed. "Shoot, boss, I was just joking, why are you so serious?" After taking pictures of the necklace, they went downstairs to the underground parking lot. Yintao got into the car. The parking lot was not well lit. They drove the car to the ground and took a few photos of Yintao to the south. She was holding it in her hand. In the photo of the steering wheel, Yintao patted the steering wheel and said, "Boss, take a picture of the BMW logo." The four of them returned to the office and sat down. Xiangnan sent all the pictures to Yintao. Yintao finished editing the pictures one by one and changed all the avatar pictures on his name Tao Zi before he clicked on Chi Pa Zi again. Control and apply to join the group. After a while, Zhe put Tao Zi into the group. As soon as they saw someone entering the group, many people rushed out and asked her to sing. Yintao said, "Okay, you guys wait." She sang into her phone for more than 50 seconds, then uploaded it and asked, "Is it okay?" Little Goblin said, "Why are you here to show off? Show off how good you are at singing? Sing for 30 seconds. Why did you sing for so long? Sing again." Others in the group felt that the little goblin request was a bit excessive, but they couldn't say anything. Yintao asked, "Is it more or less, exactly 30 seconds? Little goblin, yes. Peach, wait, right away." Xiangnan turned on the stopwatch on her phone. Yintao looked at the stopwatch and started singing. When it ended, she looked at the recording. It was exactly 30 seconds. Yintao uploaded the recording and asked the little fairy, "Is that okay, Baka?" Director chuckled. Curly said, "Okay, I passed the singing." Little goblin, you are so arrogant, do you think you are a badass and rich? In the photo in your avatar, the BMW is borrowed, right? The Cartier necklace is from an internet photo, right? Dizzy, don't worry about whether the car is borrowed. Anyway, I am definitely richer than you. Don't worry about whether the necklace is a picture from the internet. If we have a group gathering next time, we will all come wearing necklaces. Don't wear A-grade products, I know him. Little goblin, Mom. Ziazi, what else do you want to know? If you want to ask about my height, I must be taller than you. The one who says Peach definitely doesn't look like a picker. The one who says little goblin definitely doesn't look like a goblin. Maybe he does. Where's the waist of a gasoline barrel? Also, don't ask me if I'm beautiful. I'm definitely more beautiful than you. I'm even more beautiful. I can slap you in the face every minute. It's best not to mention money again. I'm definitely richer than you. Say, you still have what are you comparing to? A diploma? Mine is from Yale, and you are from Zumadian University. Yintao's fierce attack stunned the little goblin. It took him a while to react and cursed. Mom, you are one of the other people who came here to destroy the place. Kick it. Whoever brought it in. Kick this little bitch. But kicking, only the group owners and administrators have the authority. These men didn't seem to hear what the little fairy said. They were all busy looking at Peach's information. Jet, clam, 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 clam. Curly hair, don't kick me. I'll fall out with whoever kicks me. This is hard enough and fierce. I like it. Director, I like it too. Grab it. Charge it. Whoever grabs it belongs to him. I also came in and shouted. Several women in the group were staring at their mobile screens in silence. The little fairy was about to faint from anger. That's it, you've got a firm footing. Xiangnan, who had been watching the battle, said to Yintao at this time. Boss, do you want to come up and let us hurt each other? Yintao asked. Boring, Xiangnan cursed. Yintao giggled. Okay, now it's time for you to perform. I'm quitting. Xiangnan said that she left the group. Then, she unfriended all the people in the group. All those who had joined WeChat were blocked on WeChat. After thinking about it, she removed all their phone numbers. Also included in the blacklist. I'm going. The group is busy, Yintao shouted. What's wrong? The little goblin started scolding you again. Are several other women surrounding you? Xiangnan asked. No, no, they are all talking about why you left the group. They are guessing among themselves whether someone has attacked you and scared you. Yin Tao stared at her phone screen and giggled. This I said, he didn't have time to start. Why did you start? Don't follow the moral principles of the world, haha. There was a Yao Yao who came in and scolded the two of them quarreled, and the others without any persuasion, they were all trying to put out the fire. Curly Hair said to Yao Yao, please leave me and come with me at night, haha, why are these people so chaotic? Yin Tao was so happy that she couldn't bear to watch it. Xiang Nan thought about it and said, let Lao Mo join this group tomorrow. You pretend not to know each other in the group. Lao Mo is a man. They may chat with him privately. In this way, we will use this group as a base and fully understand the trends in it. As long as we thoroughly understand a group, we can basically understand the group ecology. Yes, it's based on the story of this group. I think the people in it are weird enough. Add in other stories, and we have a drama. Yin Tao agreed with Xiang Nan's suggestion. Xiang Nan looked at her phone. She saw that Zhe was reapplying to add her as a friend, so Xiang Nan clicked reject. Thank you Yuangzi, Kingbo, Zhao 1017, PCM 600812, Liuju, Little Gatekeeper, remember the original intention without seeing a future, and Daos Hung 123 for your monthly votes. Thanks for all the votes and reading. Have a good evening everyone. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1850. Xiang Nan and Yin Tao taught Lao Tuo in this way. Lao Tuo also applied to join the Chi Pa control and sang a song for 45 seconds indistinctly. This time, no one made it difficult for him, and he didn't ask for much. Quite a few, it lasted exactly 30 seconds, and it seemed that women really liked to embarrass women. The next step was the torture session, and Lao Mo was already prepared in his mind. By this time, he was typing just like he was writing lines. He was spouting lotus flowers, making witty remarks, and even swearing without a single curse word, which made everyone in the group unable to resist. Secretly thinking that the person who came today is another powerful character. Lao Tuo successfully joined the Chi Pa control as a painter, and his online name was Lao Tuo. This weekend, there will be another group gathering. It's so good that it will be held in a large box at the Banmushan Hotel. The time is 6:30 in the evening. Xiangnan asked the two girls to choose a group gathering in Hangzhou this time. In this way, on Friday afternoon, Xiangnan called Ding Yusong, took Yin Tao and the other two girls, and set off to Hangzhou together. City. Xiang Nan made an appointment with Lao Tuo, and they all had lunch together the next day. Yin Tao and the two girls told Lao Tuo all the materials they had collected, so that Lao Tuo would have a clear idea. Play and build a basic framework. They arrived in Hangzhou before 5 o'clock. It was still early for the party. Yin Tao took the two girls to hang out in the center of Hangzhou. Xiangnan took Ding Yusong to Zhang Chen's office and reported there. Let's take a look at the recent work of Yang Chen Wu Troop. When they sat down at 6 o'clock, Zhang Chen looked at his watch and told them to go downstairs for dinner. I want a private room. Xiang Nan quickly said not to go downstairs. Zhang Chen was surprised and asked why. Xiang Nan then told Zhang Chen that they wanted to write a new play about the Momo group. They were currently collecting materials. Yin Tao and Lao dragged them to a gathering below. She was afraid of running into them when she went down. Just pretend not to know you when I meet you. Yin Tao and Lao Tuo don't have any wit, Zhang Chen said. It's not that I'm afraid of meeting them, but I'm afraid of meeting people in their group. Xiang Nan chuckled. Xiang Nan then told Zhang Chen that she had already joined this group and experienced life in it, but now she has withdrawn. Zhang Chen understood and said. Then let's go to Tuxiang Garden in Xiaosha, okay. Xiang Nan quickly said yes. I'll call your mother and ask her to go there by herself, Zhang Chen said, and Xiang Nan quickly said no. Zhang Chen smiled and said, why, today is the weekend, and you are willing to leave her to eat alone. Xiang Nan sighed, okay, count her in. Zhang Chen called Tan Shehen and told her, Tan Shehen, I will treat you to dinner at the Tuxiang Garden in Xiaosha. Zhang Chen, do you really want to invite me to dinner, or are you pretending? Tan Shehen asked. Zhang Chen said of course it was true. If you really want to invite me, you can't invite me downstairs. Do you have to go as far as Zisha? You can wash your feet after dinner downstairs. It's so verbose. I'm so picky about inviting you to dinner. Just say whether you want to go or not, Zhang Chen said. Not going. Okay, then the three of us will go by ourselves. You. 3. Who else? Lu Yun and Xiao Fang are back. Didn't they just go to the United States the day before yesterday? Zhang Chen ignored her, but did not hang up the phone. Instead, he told Xiang Nan and Ding Yusong, Xiang Nan, if your mother doesn't come, let's go. When Tan Shehen heard this, she quickly shouted, come, come, who said I won't come? Hey, Zhang Chen, what's the box number? Zhang Chen and Xiang Nan said let's go again and hung up the phone. Ding Yusong pointed to the phone in Zhang Chen's hand and said to him, Mr. Zhang, Mr. Tan was on the phone just now. It seemed that she was coming too. Zhang Chen and Xiang Nan laughed, and Zhang Chen said, don't worry, maybe she will have arrived before we arrive. But I didn't tell her which box, Ding Yusong said. Idiot, when we get to the door, the receptionist doesn't recognize her, so he won't tell her, Xiang Nan said. Ding Yusong understood and smiled. Yin Tao broke up with the two girls in the center of Hangzhou. They went to their group party. Yin Tao arrived at the dynamic zone and continued shopping in the market below. She deliberately stayed until 6:40 before going upstairs. When we arrived at the Nanping Evening Bell box of Tuxian Jiayuan Hotel, there was a large table for 18 people, and everyone was already there. Yin Tao saw that Lao Tuo had also arrived and was having a lively chat with everyone. It was obvious that he had already melted into it. The waiter pushed the door open. As soon as Yin Tao appeared at the door, everyone inside stopped chatting and looked at her. Yin Tao said calmly, I'm Tao Zi. Several men stood up almost at the same time and said hello to her. Yin Tao smiled slightly, nodded casually, without looking at anyone in particular, said hello and walked over. Come on, beauty, sit here, Lao Tuo called to Yin Tao. Yin Tao looked at him, but did not go over. Instead, she walked towards the two women and asked, can I sit here? Okay, I just want to fight with you, a round-faced woman said. What the hell, you brought me to my door yourself. Yin Tao giggled, you are the little goblin, right? Hello. The little fairy was quite calm. She looked at Yin Tao and cursed, you are indeed taller, whiter, and prettier than me. No wonder these perverts' eyes went straight when they saw you. Yin Tao said thank you. Entering the stage of getting to know each other, Yin Tao matched the names of the people one by one. Including her, there were 5 women present, including Little Fairy, Sisi, Yao Yao and Yesterday Breeze, because the group announcement said that it was everyone who paid for this party, and the cat did not show up. The chat was quite normal. In fact, most of the people at their table didn't know each other's details. Few even knew which unit the other worked in. There weren't many common topics. Naturally, they talked about where they were working. Hotel to eat. I glanced at everyone, and his eyes especially stayed on Yin Tao's face for a few seconds. He finally said to Zhe, you should have told me earlier when you booked this place. I know the boss here very well. I can give him a discount that will break my bones. This hotel belongs to Ban Mu Tian. Are you familiar with Zhang Chen, the owner of Ban Mu Tian? Yin Tao asked me. I said yeah vaguely. Yin Tao smiled and said, I don't know Zhang Chen very well. We have only met a few times. However, his son and I are classmates. By the way, let me make a call. Yin Tao picked up the phone and dialed. The call was actually dialed to Ding Yusong according to their prior agreement. Ding Yusong picked up the phone and Yin Tao said, Zhang Xiangbei, I'm Tao Zi. I'm having dinner at your hotel. Of course it's Hangzhou. Yes, it's the one upstairs in the dynamic zone. What, which private room? Yin Tao put down the phone and asked, which box are we in? 2 or 3 people answered together, Nanping Evening Bell. Yin Tao picked up the phone, hey, Zhang Xiangbei, Nanping Evening Bell, what? If you give us a free bill, of course you want it? I'll beat you to death if you don't. Putting down the phone, Yin Tao told everyone, we'll give you a free meal. Great, everyone clapped. Yin Tao glanced at me secretly. Me looked a little embarrassed, and his face turned blue and white. Yin Tao looked at it and felt secretly amused, and felt very satisfied. The table is too big, so group chat is not very convenient, and the topic quickly becomes small scale. Lao Mo, Zhe, curly hair, director, and me are chatting about the gay bar on Nanshan Road. With their own experiences, Little Fatty and 3 Fives, Stapler's dad and Lonely Captain were chatting about the job that Little Fatty had just found. Yin Tao and the Little Fairy and the other girls had their heads crossed and chatted. The Little Fairy asked Yin Tao where she worked. Splendid China, Yin Tao said, what about you? She is from the underworld, from Wenlong Lane Primary School. Before Little Fairy could answer, yesterday Breeze rushed to speak. Yin Tao was startled, and the Little Fairy quickly said, don't be afraid, don't be afraid. The underworld is just one of my roles. Sometimes I am a judge, sometimes a policeman, and sometimes a lawyer. Yin Tao was surprised and asked, then what do you do? Guess, I've done everything I told you, including the underworld. Little Goblin said with a smile. What a mess, it's the police, the underworld, and lawyers, all this. Yin Tao had an idea, are you an actor? Almost said the Little Goblin. Shameless, he's just a debt collector and has nothing to do with actors. Sissy scolded at the side. Of course it does matter. We are a formal company, okay. Little Fairy replied and continued to talk to Yin Tao. Every day, I have to send different text messages and make phone calls to each debtor based on their different circumstances. These bastards will definitely not answer the phone, so I immediately pretend to be a police officer and say that I have received a police report and that he has been suspected of financial fraud. Let him go to the police station to take notes, pretend to be a judge, tell him when the court session will be held, and ask him to appear in court. Then what if they really come? Yin Tao asked. You threw yourself into a trap when you came. Didn't we look for them and couldn't find them? We waited at the police station and the court door. When they came, they were taken away by us, said the Little Fairy. It still sounds like a gangster, Yin Tao said. Just a little, otherwise I won't get the money. Little Goblin said, but usually timid people. I pretended to be a lawyer and sent a text message, saying that I had prepared the materials, and when I wanted to sue him, he would go there obediently. If you return the card, you will at least pay the minimum payment. Yin Tao became interested and asked, what if it doesn't work? Then let's make a big move. The person pretending to be a gangster is the most shocking. He said he was going to school to find his child or something. Little Goblin said. It's really wicked. I'm not scolding you, I'm scolding your company, Yin Tao said. Yes, I think it's wicked too. Little Goblin nodded. We all said privately that if our boss has a child in the future, he will definitely have no butthole. The women all laughed, and Yin Tao asked, "You pretend to be police officers and judges, aren't you afraid of people calling the police? Who will report? Those who owe money. They hide here and there every day, how dare they call the police?" asked the little goblin, and Yin Tao nodded. "By the way, are we the only women in our group?" Yin Tao asked. "I remember there was another cat, why didn't she come?" "She won't come now. You might see her later. She's just a bastard." Sisi cursed disdainfully, and Yin Tao saw that Yao Yao blushed when Sisi scolded Cha Deo Bai. Thank you to Quadratic VC, the vast sea and the sky, and the two fishes for the reward. Thank you CYTYP, Moral Flame, Snacks, Taizongshan 1, Forever White X, Zero Sunny, Tian Wei Wei Wei, ZL59, Lao Chen Tang, Rain Man, Very K Chang Fei, Void Broken Dreams, Lao Shenzasang Monthly Pass. Thanks for all the votes and reading. I wish you all good health. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1851. At noon the next day, Xiangnan made an appointment with Lao Tuo to have dinner together at the Tuxianjiayuan Hotel upstairs in the Dynamic Zone. Xiangnan, Ding Yusong, Yin Tao, and the two girls all arrived, except Lao Tao. "This guy can't get up, right? He drank a lot yesterday." Yin Tao remembered it and cursed, "I called early yesterday. These guys, as soon as they heard that it was free of charge, they ate as hard as they could. We suffered a big loss." Ding Yusong smiled and said, "It doesn't matter, it's Mr. Zhang's treat anyway." Mr. Zhang said, "Let us make arrangements." After glaring at Xiangnan, Ding Yusong quickly said, "I'll call Lao Tuo." He picked up the phone and dialed it. The phone beeped. At the same time, in the corridor outside, the phone rang faintly. A child's voice cursed. Lazy boy, answer the phone quickly." Everyone in the box laughed. This was Lao Tuo's exclusive ringtone. The door was pushed open immediately, and Lao Tuo shouted, "It's coming, it's coming." Lao Tuo sat down between Xiangnan and Yin Tao. Yin Tao asked, "Are you drunk too much and can't get up?" "What a joke, can this little wine knock me down?" Lao Mo said, "I got up early, I was collecting materials. The group has been quiet all morning." "Are you collecting some ghost material?" Yin Tao asked. "There is no war on the Western Front, but that does not mean there is no war on the Eastern Front." The old man smiled slyly and said to Xiangnan, "I have completely penetrated them. I used the photos of several actresses I met in Hongdian on my mobile phone and several pornographic videos to obtain the information, gain their trust." "How do you say it?" Xiangnan asked. Yin Tao is right, the Chipa control group has been quiet in the morning, but do you know where they went? "That place is very lively," Lao Tuo said. "Tell me, where are you going?" Yin Tao asked. "It turns out that the men in this group also have a WeChat group called Men's Gang, and they are all there," Lao Tuo said. "Besides the Momo group, is there a WeChat group?" Both Xiangnan and Yin Tao felt strange, and Xiangnan also felt that it was really rewarding. If she couldn't get through this, she and Yin Tao really wouldn't know. "I'll show you." As he said this, Lao Mo picked up his mobile phone and was about to open it but then put it down. He said to Xiangnan, forget it, I won't show it to you, the content inside is unsightly, those pictures and videos, I'm a humming man, I blush just looking at them, and those words, Yin Tao, I remind you, the game has already started." "Start the game? What game will start?" Yin Tao asked. "It will be a competition to see who can pick you up first, and then I will send you, your breast photos to the men's gang, and also have a live video broadcast," Lao Mo said. "Go to hell, you bunch of hooligans," Yin Tao cursed angrily. "This is the true face," Lao Mo said. "Guess who is the most active in the men's gang?" "Curly or Director?" Xiangnan asked. I guess it's me, Yin Tao said. He is one of them, and the other one is Jet. By the way, Yin Tao, guess who the cat left with last night? Lao Mo asked. Is it Jet? Yin Tao thought for a moment and asked Lao Tuo. Last night, they had dinner at Tuxianjiayuan Hotel, and then went to Stapler's Daddy to sing. While singing, Cat didn't appear. However, when they had midnight snack, Cat come on, this midnight snack is invited by Yin Tao. Yes, it's him, Lao Mo said. Zhe's wife is a nurse at the Women's Health Hospital. She worked the night shift yesterday and didn't get home until around 9 o'clock this morning. Zhe took the cat back home. This beast, Xiang Nan cursed. That's not all. Let me tell you, Cat thought she was dating someone in the group, and the other people didn't know. In fact, she slept with everyone, and the FHM knew about it the next day. They were competing to see who could post better pictures and whose pictures were more high definition. When Cat was asleep, Zhe took pictures of every part of her body and posted them in the group. At that time, they even secretly broadcast the video live. What a bastard, this bastard, I must teach him a lesson. Yin Tao was so angry that her lungs exploded. She felt that people couldn't be so shameless. They had to do this to others for free. Listening to Xiang Nan, she felt so angry that her hands and feet went cold. She felt unworthy of Cat in her heart. She thought about which girl was not the treasure in the eyes of her parents, but what parent would think that her treasure was in the eyes of her parents. Outside, people are ruining me like this. Xiang Nan kept shaking his head, and the two girls said, there seem to be people like this in our group, but I don't know if they have a WeChat group like the men's gang. It's breathtaking, Lao Tuo said. During this meal, they didn't have a serious discussion about the script. They were just angry and denounced the scandals in the group. After finishing their meal, they went to the tea house in the waiting area outside, asked for a private room, and sat down to continue chatting. Lao Tuo and Xiang Nan said. A Momo group, yes, is a small society, or a condensed society. For example, here, people have three aspects. One is that in their daily work and life, they look human-like, but when we arrived at the Momo group, our appearance immediately changed, but when we were in the Momo group, everyone was still pretending to be cool and a little bit polite to each other. But when you get into a group like the men's gang, your true colors are completely exposed, Xiang Nan said. We can take 3 sections like this to reveal the complexity of people. Even in the men's gang, there are still people who are pretending, Lao Mo said. For example, they all think that little fatty does not have the resources in this area, so they did not drag him in. They dragged me in. First, they felt they are familiar with me and can trust me, and they think that I am a painter, I draw a lot of human bodies, and I am very familiar with women's bodies. What about pretending? Xiang Nan asked. Like 3/5, he is just pretending to be in the men's gang. In fact, he doesn't have much experience at all. It can be seen that he may also be in the group. Apart from little fatty, Cat is the only one who has know I had slept with him, but he kept talking about his sexual experiences again and again in the group. Those so-called experiences, you can tell at a glance that they were based on pornography. He brags every day and wants to be worthy of being in this group. This is also a very strange mentality. As Lao Tuo said, both Xiang Nan and Ding Yusong nodded. Why are all men like this? Yin Tao sighed and said that the other two girls also said that joining this kind of group makes people quickly stop believing in love and think that men are just animals. Don't talk nonsense, I am not, Ding Yusong shouted, at least Zhang Xiangbei is not either, are you right, Xiangnan? Xiang Nan nodded, of course she felt that Zhang Xiangbei was definitely not. Captain Feng, I take the liberty of asking you a question, is it okay? Lao Tuo said. Say yes to the south. Do you know the password of your boyfriend's cell phone? Will he be nervous when you pick up his cell phone? Lao Mo asked. No, I know his password, and he also knows my password. However, we generally don't touch each other's mobile phones, let alone checking them, which is so boring and unnecessary. Xiang Nan said, the password is not to guard against outsiders, there is nothing else to guard against between us. Lao Mo nodded, I really envy you. This actually doesn't mean anything, a girl shouted, boss, I'm not talking about you and Zhang Xiangbei, you guys are very good. I'm talking about the men in our group. They will say that they want to. I got home and need to clean up my personal hygiene. Cleaning personal hygiene, what do you mean? Xiang Nan asked. Just before going home, clear all the text messages, WeChat messages, and call records on your phone to avoid accidents. If you see the parking lot, park the car, and still sit there, busy with your phone, you won't. People who make phone calls are usually doing this kind of thing. Lao Tuo said, Xiang Nan understands. Yes, there is a woman in our group. She racks her brains every day and thinks about how to crack the password of her boyfriend's mobile phone. When her boyfriend is asleep, she uses his fingers to open the fingerprint lock and drink when he was drunk, or when he was talking in his sleep. I would trick him into telling him his password, and every time he successfully cracked it, the two of them would have a big fight. Another girl said, and everyone laughed. Xiang Nan said, what's the point of having two people like this together? You are wrong, this is very likely, it is their joy in life, Lao Mo said with a smile. Yes, that's right, the two of them are like this. Every time they quarrel until they break up, but they get better after a few days, and then they quarrel again next time. The man said in the group that he and his girlfriend broke up. Everyone thought he was farting, the girl said. There is another person in our group. He has two mobile phones. He carries one with him and another. He puts it in the office or in the car after get off work every day. He is outside and leaves phone numbers or WeChat ads for all the women. It's all the office number, another girl said. Hey, let me ask you a question, Yin Tao said. Everyone looked at her. You think, what's the point of putting on a show like ours, just to let everyone see how bad society is and how bad men are? Yin Tao said. This is all relative. If there are no bad women, there will be bad men. Don't just speak from the perspective of women. Ding Yusong was dissatisfied and retorted. Why do I only speak from the standpoint of us women? Yin Tao argued. Then you say, if every woman is pure, and a man wants to be bad, where can he go to do bad things? Just like the cat mentioned earlier, if she is not so casual, how can there be any in the men's gang? So many pictures and videos. Ding Yusong asked. Yin Tao was speechless for a moment, she sighed and said. Okay, even if what you said makes sense, I just want to ask, what's the point of us rehearsing such a play? Just let the audience watch it, don't trust each other, is it to make everyone not believe in love? Yin Tao said. The two girls nodded, and Ding Yusong also fell silent. Xiang Nan thought for a while and said. It still makes sense. We just have to take out these ugly things and expose them to the sun. Only when they are exposed can the criticism be untargeted. At the same time, it also reminds many people that even if they are cats, I feel that I must also remind her that if you don't love yourself, no one will truly love you. I agree with what Captain Feng said. The darker something is, the more it needs to be exposed to the sun. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. If you don't expose these things, they will not die automatically. It will get more and more intense, Lao Tuo said. I think this is the meaning of our play. Realism is not only about praising virtues, but also criticizing realism. It cannot be lost at any time. Thank you for your monthly votes from Wandering Mayfly, remembering the original intention without seeing a future. Book Friends 201704150958555427, Tao Sheng 123, Earthling Wizard, 1111 Zi, UN 11, Xiao Shen Nian Fang 48. Thanks for all the votes and reading. Have a good evening everyone.